And then, so what does God say about resources? When we look in scripture, what does it say? And it's interesting because we get to decide through our choices what kind of, if there's a blessing or cursing on our resources. And so Deuteronomy 28 reveals those blessings and cursings based on our connection, obedience, love of God. And so I'm going to read some passages because they're so beautiful and powerful. I just love what God promises to us. So these are some passages from Deuteronomy 28. Now it shall come to pass, if you diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all his commandments, which I command you today, that the Lord your God will set you high above all the nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you, because you obey the voice of the Lord your God. Blessed shall you be in the city, blessed shall you be in the country. Blessed shall be the fruit of your body, the produce of your ground, the increase of your herds, the increase of your cattle, and the offspring of your flocks. Blessed shall be your basket and your kneading bowl. Blessed shall you be when you come in, and blessed shall you be when you go out. The Lord will cause your enemies who rise against you to be defeated before your face. And
I know there's another one, but I just want to say something. As we just read this, number one, it's Old Testament. So a lot of people will say, well, that's just Old Testament. We don't go by the Old Testament anymore. That's not the point of this verse. The point is recognizing that as we're going through this verse, there is no mention of trade. There's no mention that if you obey the Lord, that you're going to get this in exchange for this, that when you trade, there's no mention of that. It's simply God giving out to his people through increase of their flocks, increase of their herds, increase of their the water and the rain and the harvest, increase of all these things, and it doesn't have anything to do with trading. And trading, then I'm going to go ahead and share this. Trading, then it has kind of progressed from trading a good for a good, where that can still get into the haves and the have-nots. It gets into the place of where it became money, and with the money it is exchanged, and it's still a trade. No matter what you're doing with money, you're trading it for time or you're trading it for a product. And so that money, then it's the capitalistic society that we live in currently today, and it's all based on trading. And yet when these here, it doesn't talk about trading. It simply talks about that if you are flowing in the love of the Father, I'd rather say it that way than being obedient. Now, back then they had to make a choice to be obedient. That was the framework they were living in, is that if you do this, you will get this. But and that sounds like a trade. But at the same time, Father's saying that if you're operating in my love, then the increase is just going to come. It's going to flow into us. And that's operating in the love of God. There is no fear in that. Fear is lack. When we lack something or we have fear of lack, then that is the fear, and that is not God. Anything that's fear is not God. So when we simply are operating in that place of love, then comes the increase. And it may not, if you're thinking it's that increase has to look a certain way, well, let go of that, number one. Understand that you are already blessed beyond measure to exist here right now. It is a blessing. Now, if you look at it differently, then you need to check your strongholds that you're believing about God or about the way things the way you think things should be, that you would let go of those and begin to understand that we're here to learn to love and to flow in that process.